We'll proceed in pseudo multivariate calculus. Calculus, you are amazing. Calculus, you are marvelous. You are marvelous in the sense, what is the most basic entity in mathematics? Then it is called addition. That is the most basic thing in mathematics. Okay, what is the next? Negative addition is subtraction. Subtraction is addition only, but direction is different, opposite. That's how it is addition, but in reverse direction. That is called subtraction. What is multiplication? Repeated addition is multiplication. Okay, what is division? Then someone can say repeated subtraction, or how much is the collection per unit collection on something else. That is division. Hop, 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 hop. Okay, if I say A into B, A into B means A is repeated B times. That is A into B. A by B. How much is A per unit in B? Okay, I have given this example many times. Keep a bag of orange and keep a bag of mango. If mango count is 20 and orange count is 4, then mango by orange is 5. 20 by 4 means 5. Means if I add one orange in the orange bag, then I have to add 5 mangoes in mango bag. 5 mango per orange. Change, if I make change in mango, if I want to see changes in mango bag per unit change in orange bag, then it will be 5. Okay, so that is division. Okay, how much change in the numerator I am seeing when there is 1 unit of change in denominator? That is division. Someone can go with the repeated subtraction also. The way multiplication is repeated, addition. Anyway, now calculus comes into the picture and it says addition and subtraction is all right, but there is another way of doing the multiplication. Multiplication is repeating one item how many times the other item, A into B. There is another way to calculate A into B. That is, take a rectangle and one side is B and one side is A, and take a one square unit of a square, one square whose one side is 1 and one side is 1. Now start placing inside the rectangle A and B, and then count it how many they are. That is also multiplication of A into B. Take a line B and take a line A. It will form a rectangle. Take one line 1 and height 1. That is a square. Take many square and fit it inside this rectangle. Then count it. How many they are. This is called area of the rectangle also. And the count that it will go on, that count is actually the multiplication A into B. A into B we can find it through area also. Now in that sense, if this horizontal is x and vertical is 2, then this area is 2 into x. If horizontal is x and vertical is z, where z is not dependent upon x, then area is z into x. If horizontal is x and vertical is y and y is not dependent upon x, then it will form a rectangle. But horizontal is x and vertical is y and y is dependent upon x, then it may not form rectangle like y equal to sine x. In that sense, y means height. Y means height. So y means height. So at every moment, what is the height? If y is not dependent upon x, every moment height will be constant. In that sense, it forms a rectangle. But every moment, what is the height? Height is sine x. At the x equal to 0, height is 0. When x equal to pi by 2, height is 1. Height, every moment height is dependent upon x. In that sense, multiplication of y into x will not be yx. It will be different. If y equal to x square, then x square into x will not be x to the power 3. It will be x to the power 3 by 3. Similarly, if I am calculating differentiation, rate of change in numerator by rate of 1 unit change in denominator, and numerator is a function over denominator, then in that case x square by x will not be x. X square by x will be 2x. X square into x will not be x to the power 3. X square into x will be x to the power 3 by 3. That is calculus. Calculus means multiplication of two items when one item is dependent upon another item. Division of two items where numerator is dependent upon denominator. In that sense, rate of change in numerator with 1 unit change in denominator will give different result rather than just dividing it through algebra. Okay, now multiplication of two items where one is dependent upon another, then the net multiplication will be different than algebraic multiplication. This is calculus. Now, idea is, can we write a formula? Can we write a mathematical formula in the name of simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division? Because this is what people are accustomed of, and then slowly transforming it into calculus. That is called pseudo multivariate calculus. Multivariate means independent components are more than one. That is called multivariate. Independent components are more than one. Right now we are talking about independent component only one, that is x. It can be x and y. It can be x, y, z, three independent components. It can be x, y, z, alpha, four independent components, or x, y, z, density, four independent components. It can be 100 independent components. Okay, so let's now we are in phase of calculating the average speed. Average speed in the sense, this is x-axis, this is this is x-axis, and one person is running or walking. This is origin. This is origin, and one person is running like this. But the speed of that person is directly proportional to the distance he is covering. Make sense? This is x-axis. This point is origin. Now, if he is at distance x from the origin, he is at distance x. At that moment, his speed is square root of x. That is what we are saying. So if he is at 100 meters, then his speed is 10 meter per hour. Per hour. Okay, if it is not very feasible, someone can take 10 meter per second also. Okay, if he is at 10 kilometer distance from the origin on x-axis, then 10 kilometer means 10,000 meter. In that sense, his speed is 100 meter per hour. Like that, the way he is going away from the origin, his speed is increasing by a square root of the distance. Now, what is his average speed? Average speed means if he has run for the 10 kilometer, if he is running for the 10 kilometer, we know that his speed is not constant. There is acceleration. Okay, in that case, what is average speed? Consider he is covering a distance of d, that is 10 kilometer. In that he is taking time t. If I know average kilometer, then it is as good as if he runs with the constant average kilometer for distance d, he will take same time t. That is average speed. Okay, can someone find average speed? What is average speed? Consider he is running for 10 kilometer. Okay, first 5 kilometer he is running at 1 kilometer per hour, and next 5 kilometer he is running at 2 kilometer per hour. I mean it is very slow, but this is how it is. First 5 kilometer he is running at 1 kilometer per hour. Next 5 kilometer he is running at 2 kilometer per hour. What is the average speed? First of all, someone has to calculate the total time, how much he is taking. Okay, first 5 kilometer, 1 kilometer per hour, 5 hour he took. Next 5 kilometer, 2 kilometer per hour, then 2.5 hour he took. 7.5 hour he took to run 10 kilometer. Average speed is 10 by 7.5. That is the average speed. Means 10 by 7.5 into, that is a speed, into 2 hour. 2 hour will be 10 kilometer. Up, not like that. Okay, I'm sorry about it. Okay, first hour, first, I'm sorry, 10 by 7.5 is the average speed. How much time he is taking? First 5 kilometer he is running. Okay, 5 plus 2.5, 7.5 hour he is taking. Now it is all right. 10, 10 distance, 10 by 7.5 is the average speed. Into the time, that is 7.5, he is covering 10 kilometer. Okay, or 10 by 10 by 7.5, 7 point. So average speed. Now can someone calculate average speed when his speed is a square root of x? That is under question. Okay, now someone would say, first calculate the how much time he is taking. The time equal to distance covered by speed. Okay, in that sense, distance covered is d by speed square root of x. Okay, that is the time. Make sense? Okay, if someone say distance covered is on x-axis, I'll take it as x only. So x by a square root of x. That is the time he is taking, and that is the square root of x. Square root of x is the time he is taking. Now here, whatever first starts with start anyone should start with the pseudo code. Pseudo code in the sense the time. What is average speed? First step is calculate the total time he is taking. Then average speed is total distance covered by total time is the average speed. Okay, if he is covering the distance d, then total time is d by the heat speed, d by a square root of x. That is the average speed. Now, d is the distance. Now, we have come to a scenario that is called length vector. There is something called length vector. There is something called area vector. There is something called volume vector. There is something called weight vector, and so on, depending upon the how many independent variables we are taking. Okay, in that sense, what is the length vector? We have demonstrated many times. Okay, if this is x-axis and this is a line, if this is x-axis, if this is x-axis and this is the line, then what is the length of this line from point origin and point x comma y? I believe it is all right. So that is the question. Point origin and point x comma y. What is the length of this line section? Okay, someone would use Pythagoras theorem, but actual problem is even more difficult because we are in phase of finding the line length of a curve. What is the length of this curve from origin to any point x comma y? To make it simple, to make it simple, to make it simple, we transform this curve into a straight line. Now, what is the length of this line from origin to any point x comma y? This is pseudo multivariate calculus. This topic is missing in every book. Now, in that sense, what is length of this line? I transform this curve into a straight line because this is how we write the pseudo code. Now, anyone would say transform into a vector and calculate the magnitude of the vector. That is 0 and x comma y vector is xi plus yj. Magnitude is x square plus y square square root. But that will not give what we want. If I'm trying to calculate the length of this curve from origin to any point x, and if I take a straight line, I'll get the length of the straight line rather than the curve. Curve is set of vectors. It has many vectors rather than one vector. But whatever it is, what is difference between this line and this curve? How I can make it generic? I have talked many times, in curve everywhere y by x is different. If it is x square, then if it is 10, then it is 100. Y by x is 10. If it is 5, then it is 25. Y by x is 5. But here in the straight line, y by x is a number and it is constant everywhere. Okay, in that sense, I have to bring this in y by x way so that it will address this curve. So vector is xi plus yj. If I take out x, then it becomes I plus y by xj bracket close into x. Now y by x is coming into the picture and it is addressing the curve also. This is called length vector. I plus y by xj and then into x. If I calculate magnitude of this vector, it gives the length of the vector. It will give the length of this also. Okay, this is called length vector. Now, since y is dependent upon x, y by x will be transformed into dy by dx. And a whole I plus y by xj whole is dependent upon right side x, which is in multiplication form. Bracket I plus y by xj bracket close multiplied by x. This full is multiplied by independent component x and this is dependent component. In that sense, this multiplication will turn into integration. I plus dy by dxj into dx is the net length vector. If someone calculates the magnitude of this, then he will get the length of anything. Anyway, now we have time equal to distance covered by the velocity, speed. What is the distance? Distance we will this the distance what we are talking about, it will be transformed into length vector. A person can run in a curve fashion also. A person can run in a straight line also, whatever it is. This is called length vector. So length vector divided by the total by the speed will give the total time. Okay, in that sense, what is the length vector? I plus dy by dxj into dx. That is the length vector by square root of x. I believe it is all right. In that case, what is dy by dx? If person is running on x-axis, then everywhere y is 0. In that sense, dy by dx is 0. Net it will come as dx by square root of x. That is the total time. Can someone believe that it transformed into like this? Wherever length is coming, just replace it by length vector. Okay, this is how it is because we are length vector calculating the magnitude of length vector gives the net distance. That is the distance by speed. Net distance is magnitude of this length vector. I plus dy by dxj into dx. Dy by dx is 0 if it is on x-axis. Net came as dx by square root of x. What is dx by square root of x? That is under question now. Square root of x is x to the power minus 1 by 2. It will come as x to the power 1 by 2 by 1 by 2. 2x to the power 1 by 2. 2 square root of x. That is the total time. Okay. So total time that will be taken by a person when he is running to a distance of x. Means this is integration, right? From 0 to x. That is the limit. Okay. When it is dx, 0 to x is the limit. Okay. Limit means when we multiply with something, when we multiply with the x is an amount. If I make it dx, that amount will come as a limit. Okay, integration has three parts. One is limit. That is the amount that is the right hand side independent component is. Since I change x into dx, whatever its value was, I put in a limit 0 to x. Then integrand, and then differential part that is dx. These are the things that ruined the calculus. People really do not understand what's going on and how they can tackle the real life problem. In book also, in examination also, people know that I am sitting in a calculus examination and whatever integration differentiation is provided that I have to do. But how someone has to tackle the real life problem and how why he should mold it to calculus, he does not know. See the problem how we mold it into a calculus because we know that the speed is dependent upon the distance and distance is independent and something is dependent. When dependent and independent is there and algebra is there, then multiplication will turn into integration and division will turn into differentiation. Right now it is multiplication means 1 by square root of x. multiplied by length. Okay, we settle it down anyway. Now, right now it is 2. 2 square root of x is the total time. When he is traveling a distance of 10 kilometer, then a square root of 10 kilometer is 100 meter. Okay, in that sense, total time taken is 100 into 2, 200 hours. 200 hours. Anyway, if he is traveling 100 meter, if he is traveling, I'm sorry, is it all right? I did okay. 1 by square root of x, then x to the power minus 1 by 2, x to the power minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is 1 by 2, 2. I believe it is all right. 2 into a square root of x. So time taken, if person is walking for running for 100 meter, then a square root of 100 is 10. Okay, in that sense, he is taking 20 hours to run 100 meter or 20 second, whatever is some, or 20 minute, whatever is someone is putting the actual formula into. So 20 hour is his time. What is the average speed? Average speed is distance by time. That is the average speed. Okay, then the average speed is this average speed is distance by time. So if he is covering a distance of x, then time taken is 2 square root of x. Now the average speed is half into square root of x. That is the average speed. I mean, this is how we are calculating. Average speed means distance by total time. If distance is x, then total time taken is 2 into square root of x. In that sense, the average speed is zero point 0.5 into square root of x. Okay, in that sense, if person has run for 100 meter, then his average speed is zero point 0.5 into 10. That is 5 meter per hour. That is his average speed. In that sense, he is he will if that is the speed 0.5 meter per hour. I'm sorry, 5 meter per hour. Then to go for 100 meter, he will take 20 hours. Okay, what is his average speed when he is running for 10 kilometers? In that sense, again it is zero point 0.5 into square root of x. That is his average speed. Zero point 0.5 into square root of x. Square root of x is 100. In that sense, it will be 50 meter per hour is his average speed. So average speed is also growing with. This is called pseudo calculus. Pseudo calculus means start with normal concept and then proceed in like this. This is mind blowing pseudo calculus. Okay, if it is mind blowing pseudo calculus, actually we started a discussion where that is gone. Okay, consider there is a elliptical shape. There is a planet. There is a planet that is revolving around Sun, like Mars, and everywhere planet speed is directly proportional to 1 by r square, 1 by square root of r. If you see the speed of a planet, if Mars is rotating around Sun, Mars is rotating around Sun, and it is a elliptical shape, then everywhere Mars velocity is different. Mars velocity at every moment is different. Every moment Mars velocity is inversely proportional to the square root of distance from the center of the sun. Means Mars velocity equal, if I leave all the constants, Mars velocity equal to 1 by r, 1 by a square root of r. R is the distance from the sun center to the Mars center. Or if distance is high, then the speed of the Mars will be low. If distance is low, then the speed of the Mars will be high. In that sense, can someone calculate that if it is an ellipse and consider the ellipse equation is x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. Means along the x-axis, from the center, the radius is a. Along the y-axis, radius is b. X square by a square plus y by b square equal to 1. If that is the case, Then can someone calculate for making one round what is the average speed of the Mars? Okay, that is the real question. That's how we are proceeding. Anyway, now let's consider that this is a circle. This is a circle, and the speed of the item Earth moving in a circle. So in that sense, Earth speed at any moment is distance from the center of the sun to the Earth, and that is constant. Consider what is the equation of this circle is. This is x square. It is circle is a special case of ellipse. X square by a square plus y square by a square equal to 1. So it is x square plus y square equal to a square. That is the equation of circle. Equation of circle. Now let's find the total time when it is revolving one round. That is total distance by average speed. Now average is, I'm sorry, total distance by the speed. Now speed of this is 1 by square root of distance from the center. Distance, if I take any point here at x comma y, then distance x comma y, the distance from the center is x square plus y square square root. I believe it is all right. Okay, that is the distance x square plus y square square root. That is the distance. Okay, if Earth is moving and then the speed at any moment is 1 by square root of distance. Okay, in that sense, it will come as the whatever the distance it is covering, total time I am calculating, whatever distance it is covering, we are calculating for the full one kind of it is taking, but we will use the calculus. So whatever distance it is traveling, that is d divided by the d, that is the any distance he is traveling. Okay, divided by its speed. Okay, the distance he is traveling is I plus dy by dx, I plus dy by dxj into dx divided by 1 by square root of r. That will go up now. Now it will become a square root of r. R is square root of x square plus y square. It will be x square plus y square to the power 1 by 4. I believe it is all right. That is the speed. Anyway, now x square plus y square, any moment it is a constant radius because it is a circle. In that sense, it becomes x square plus y square to the power 1 by 4. X square plus y square is r square. That is the radius, or a square, that is the radius. It will become a square root of a. Square root of a into 1 plus dy by dx j, I plus dy by dx j into dx. Now, this square root of a is constant. In that sense, we will just find this magnitude. Magnitude will be 1 square plus dy by dx whole square root into dx. Okay, what is dy by dx for the circle y equal to square root of a square minus x square? Dy by dx is minus x by square root of a square minus x square. 1 square plus dy by dx whole square will become 1 square plus x square by a square minus x square whole root. Then it will become a by square root of a square minus x square dx. That is what we are. And outside a square root of a, we have just kept it. Square root of a into a, it will become a into a square root of a. Okay, and dx by square root of a square minus x square. That will become sine inverse x by a. Now, if it is a circle, then then I have to calculate from a. If this is a, this is origin. This is a, then this is minus a. A to a, this is what I have to calculate. I'll calculate minus a to a, or a to minus a, and I'll double it. So it will become sine inverse x by a minus a to a. If I put a there, sine inverse 1, that is pi by 2. Then minus, if I put, then sine inverse minus pi by 2, minus 1, sine inverse minus 1. Sine inverse minus 1 will be minus pi by 2. Pi by 2 minus pi by 2 will be pi. So, and now I have to multiply by 2. 2 pi, 2 pi, 2 pi into a by square root a into square root of a. That is the total time it is taking. I believe it is all right. I have done whatever I believe so. Okay. So it will become 2 pi a. Square root of a is the total time. Now consider that what is the average? Average speed is equal to distance by total time. If distance is 2 pi a, if it is making one circle, the distance is 2 pi a. 2 pi a divided by total time. 2 pi a. 2 pi a square root of a. Hop, hop, hop. Average speed is 1 by a square root, 1 by a square root of a only. Okay, this means that the earth is rotating at constant speed. Hop, hop, hop. I believe it is all right. Because since it is a circle, earth is rotating around the sun at a constant speed. That is 1 by a square root of a, that is its radius. I believe this actually verifies our mind-blowing algorithm, that is pseudo multivariate calculus. Now there are two assignments. One assignment is, can someone calculate through the ellipse that we are talking? Because in ellipse the average speed will not be constant. That is for sure. Okay, and second thing is, consider consider a person is running in a circular fashion and its speed is growing the way. Consider this is the position at which person is starting the running, and he is running like this. Here the speed is zero, and the way he is gaining the length. What is its length? If it is angle is theta, if this is the zero angle, then he is making now. If this is at, if this person is at angle zero, if person is running like this, here is he is at angle pi by 2, he is at angle pi, he is at 3 pi by 2, he is at angle 2 pi. Person, the way he is running, the way distance he is covering, his speed is growing, the way we talk. So every moment the speed of the person is r theta. R theta, R is the radius or A is the radius, then A theta is his speed. If theta is pi by 2, then his speed is pi by 2 into A. Like that. Now can someone calculate the average speed? Okay, and then Mars average speed. How much the average speed? Mars is making elliptical circle around the sun, where major radius, that is along the x-axis radius is a, diameter is 2a, and minor radius is b. Using this mind-blowing multivariable pseudo multivariable calculus, please do not mind supporting us. Plus 91 is the India country code. 948316106010 is the telephone number. 9483160610 is the telephone number. Plus 91 is the India country code.